What is up, guys? WOOO here, back again with another Division 2 video. Welcome back. Today's build, finally guys, I have the Capacitor in tow, which is the exotic assault rifle you earn from the Summit cash rewards. Guys, I've got to say it, this is freaking awesome. It is the best, amazing weapon in the game for skill builds, hybrids, and so on and so forth. Now, I've been using the test subject before this, which is a fantastic alternative. So if you don't have the Capacitor and you've not gone to Summit yet, I advise that you do so. But if not, the test subject is great. It's a good alternative. And I'm going to demonstrate the difference in scaling of damage in this video. So wait until the end when we go through the testing. And I'll put some different pieces on as well, just to show how powerful and how not so powerful some particular pieces are. So of course, guys, if you enjoy this build, you enjoy this video, thumbs doodle, it helps. And if you're new to the channel, drop the WOOO bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my content. Guys, let's move this. Guys, this is the build. Now, there are changes that you can make to, again, amplify your damage and really push out a little bit more skill damage if necessary. Now, I've been running this for about 24 hours. I have had no issues with this build. I have been shredding. PvE, amazing. I'm loving this. Your survivability, even at 726k armor, is high because there is some armor regen on the build. And that's exactly what I wanted to substitute for the lack of armor pieces that I could use potentially if I have the right pieces. Okay, so Technician. I feel that's your best choice of specialization to choose. Technician, it grants you 10% skill damage, so that's great, and that's going to elevate your damage. So get it on, Technician. Also, that passive 1 skill tier, and that is also awesome if you have a piece which is armor and has skill damage and skill haste, or skill damage and armor regen. Unfortunately, guys, I don't have that. Someone will say, get farming. Guys, I have been farming and farming. I have been struggling to find these said pieces with an awesome roll of skill damage and an awesome roll of armor regen, so I can take off the skill tier and put on max armor. I can't do that at present. I've been trying on farming to the point where I could punch it in the face. But either way, if you can do that and I can't, then do that. It will benefit your build. It will make you a little bit more stronger and let you survive a little bit longer in a firefight, but it is not essential. Let's just make that crystal clear. So, Technician, best to go for in my opinion on this build. This is an assault turret striker drone combo build which hits hard. The assault turret hits at max stacks 267k, 267k on this setup. It's quite nice, isn't it? 267k. The drone hits about 165 if I recollect, and again we'll demonstrate this in the range shortly. But yeah, this is the build. So 0 offensive, 0 defensive, 6 skill tiers. I have 3 blues on there which are armor regen, and that adds to your survivability. It really does, and I'll demonstrate. Well, I'll do it now for you guys. Let's demonstrate this. So we're in the range. Firstly, I'm just going to damage self a little bit, right? And just watch the armor regen slowly refill and slowly replenish, but at a decent rate of knots. And that's nice, and that's nice to have on your build, because you know, skill builders predominantly like to do this, stay in cover, because it adds to that survivability. So if you are damaged, you are tanked, if you are flanked, whatever, because you've NPCs, they've got round the back, you know, you've got that little bit of last stand armor regen that will help you on your build. So, armor regen, good choice. Now we get back to the build. Now, let's go through this step by step. So the mask is Empress International. This is your best in slot for brand sets. You need the 3 piece. That skill health, that skill damage is essential, and that skill efficiency, which again, guys, when you break it down, that's 10% extra skill damage. Guys, really, just get it on. Empress International is your best go-to brand set by far, so get the 3 piece on. As your attributes, guys, I recommend skill damage without shadow of a doubt, get it on. Armor regen, if you can. If not, skill haste is fine. And skill haste mods, that's what I've opted for on this build. Now we go through the holster, which is the second piece of Empress International. Again, guys, this isn't perfect. It is not perfect, but it's good as I can get. So it's 10% skill damage, which is big thumbs doodle. However, the status effects, if you can remove that for skill haste or More importantly, armor regen, you are on the money. Now the knee pads are these awesome God Sausage Roll knee pads which are Wyvern wear. One piece is essential. That 10% skill damage, which is awesome. Armor regen and skill damage again. This is the combo you want. The gloves, guys, again, the song remains the same. Skill damage, armor regen, and this is the last piece of Empress International. Then we go to the backpack. So the backpack is the Force Multiplier backpack, and this is an awesome, awesome piece. It is the Hannah You Name backpack. So it's skill haste, skill damage, skill haste yet again as a nice utility max mod. Perfect combined arms. This is where you're going to get a lot of damage from. It's this talent here. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. Very simple. Stay in cover. Make sure you're utilizing the talent from the capacitor, which goes hand in hand with perfect combined arms, and you have some insane skill damage. People will say, use this, Mr. WOOO, use this. Use the Memento, which will gain me an extra 170k armor, sorry, 154,989 to be precise armor. And yeah, enemies you kill, they will drop a trophy on death, which will get you some extra skill efficiency, will get you extra bits and bobs. However, guys, it is also very difficult to do. Why is that? And I'll explain. Now, getting these stacks are going to be quite difficult in PvE. In a group, I have tried. It is quite difficult to get the kill. Solo, yes, it works nicely. You are dropping some damage, but you have to move about to get the trophies, to get the extra bit of damage. So, it is situational, in my opinion, guys. In my opinion, it is great, yes, but I prefer the guaranteed skill haste, skill damage, perfect combined arms by just shooting an NPC. It's just shooting your weapon at an NPC. Even my potato aim can do it. So I feel this is best for me. However, the Memento is a good option. But you've got to pick those trophies up, guys. You need them trophies. Chest piece, guys, I don't feel there's any other choice. It is the Kinetic Momentum Hannah You chest piece, and this piece here is nice. I wish I had a little bit more skill haste, but it is what it is. Max skill damage, skill haste, and skill haste as a mod. Kinetic Momentum, guys, it's just, I can't see past this. I cannot see past Kinetic Momentum. You say Glass Cannon, I say you are a feather in the wind. And Kinetic Momentum, it stacks, and it stacks amazingly well. So Kinetic Momentum is, in my honest opinion, best in slot. I can't see past this particular piece. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1%, and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. Yeah, guys, per skill. This will be doubled, which is amazing. But it's lost when on cooldown. So, guys, when you're in combat, using these two skills that I've chosen, this is the best way to go. It is, guys, trust me, it is immense. So, that's what we're looking at. Now, what could you do to change to make it potentially more effective? Well, waveform holster, that would help. You're going to miss a bit of damage from a particular piece, whether it be Wyvern, Hannah You, or Empress. Guys, you need 3-piece Empress, so I wouldn't do that. So, potentially Hannah You, or potentially Wyvern, where you'd lose 10% damage, but you're going to gain the extra damage for the waveform holster. That's an option. Memento backpack. That could do, as I said before, a decent job. You need to get them trophies. In a group, it's potentially quite difficult, I found. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Solo, it is much more obtainable, but again, it is player preference. It is what it is, guys. There you go. And also, again, if you can get an armor piece with skill damage, max, an armor regen max, you're laughing all the way to the WOOO bank. Trust me. Skills, guys, that's what you're here for, and that is this. The Assault Turret with a 12.3 second cooldown. This could be bettered if you have more skill haste on your build. That's a given. However, I went for armor regen, but again, it's only a fraction. A fraction of time I'm losing. I mean, a fraction. I'd rather the armor regen for the survivability. Damage, health, and skill haste. That's what I've opted for on here. I don't think there's any other options in terms of mods. Let's have a look. So we got damage, which is, yeah, just a given. Yeah, and then we have on this one, which is skill haste. That's a given. And health. I mean, you can go for duration if you wanted to, but personally I like a bit of extra health on my turret. That hits at 131,280, which is a nice sexy piece of damage. That's base, guys. That's base out the bat damage. You know there'll be more once the talents are flying, the talents are combining. You'll know and you'll see more generate damage. Let's just take a look at the next skill. And that's a striker drone, which is 82,050 with another cooldown of 13.2 seconds. I've gone for duration, health, and damage yet again. I don't feel I have any better ones. Let's have a look. Deflect duration, no good. Health, yeah, because the other health is no good. And damage, again, that's your best one to go for on this setup. Let's take a look at the weapons. The first weapon is the capacitor. Now, I've re-rolled this. This is the best one I could re-roll it to. Guys, I have tried. It's about 6 times this has been re-rolled. This is what we have. Max AR damage, damage to arm 8%, health damage 9%. So, capacitance, there you go. Shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5 skill damage after 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. For each skill tier, gain 7.5% weapon damage. So on this build, you have an extra 45% weapon damage. Yeah, nice, isn't it? It's nice. And then we have this extra 1.5% skill damage. Is great. It is great. That's each stack of damage, which is crazy. That's 60%. Again, anyone's not very good at math, 60% skill damage. Amazing. Mods wise, they're fixed. I can't change them. Crit chance. Crit damage of 30%, which is insane. Then we have weapon handling 10% and rounds of 11. It is great. I love the capacitor. Using it and abusing it, yeah, it's given. Secondly, the test subject. Now, you could use the harmony if you want your finger, that's your right finger, to just fall off due to arthritis that's spamming the harmony. That's up to you. I've opted for the test subject, and I'm going to test this out now in the range to show you what the difference is. This does a little bit less damage when everything is aligned, but still does a nice shift for you. So, yeah, bear in mind, guys, when using this. It's awesome. It's awesome for this. Perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damage an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. And of course, they are doubled while they're both active. So that's 40% weapon damage, 40% skill damage. So if you don't have this, you need this. Simples. That's what you'll need on your skill damage builds. Mod-wise on this one, guys, simply, it is accuracy, it is critical hit chance, and then we have some extra rounds in the mag. And for my sidearm is simply the TDI card custom. It's there because it's got in sync on. That's the only reason. And I never use this. I never ever use this, guys. If I did, yeah, I'd use it simply when I don't have any ammo through once you matchmake and you have directives on, because I want the extra 30% skill damage from the bat. There you go. Now we've seen the gear, the skills, now the weapons. Let's take a look at the stats. So don't worry too much about your damage, i.e. from your weapon damage or your critical hit chance, or critical hit damage, because, guys, you've guessed it, you don't really need that. However, that extra 30% crit damage off the bat with the capacitance is a nice touch. Still, don't worry too much about it, guys, because it's all about them skills. The skills do the work for you, and all the capacitor does, it blesses your skills with that nice little bit of 60% damage, which is beautiful. So it just gives it that little kiss to really, again, just boost the performance of your 2 skills. Now, what you could do as well, guys, something I have heard from other people, you could use the Artificer Hive, and the Artificer Hive could do some nice work. I've tested this. It gives me 350k damage on the assault turret on this setup, 350k. But I can get 267k without, and then have a striker drone that does 160k. Yes, you kind of figure, for me personally, I'd rather have 2 skills rather than one that hits very, very hard. I'd have just 2 skills that hit hard and do the job and get it done, because overall you do more damage. So for me, 2 skills doing damage, in my opinion. So we got some AR damage, we got some LMG damage, rifle damage, and all weapons damage at 55%. And then armor regen is at 14,775, and again, that's demonstrated when you lose a little bit of health, you lose a little bit of armor, that armor regen kicks in straight away, and that's nice to have on a skill build because it keeps you alive longer, and especially at 726k armor regen is ace. Skill haste, 98.7%, which is a really beautiful spot to be because you don't want to go really too much over 100. It's just nice to have the armor regen there that will just, again, keep you alive longer. So for me, this is the kind of the perfect blend. Now let's go through and let me just demonstrate in the range how powerful this can be. So let's change this to very hard initially. And I'm just going to show you what I mean in terms of the sheer power it can output on this. So kinetic momentum is active. I remember in the range used to, you need to cause some damage first. Is some self-harm to get this working, but no, not anymore. So we're going to pop the turret up. Turret's going to be the one. Let's just aim at these MP6 here, yeah? 170k off the bat, yeah? Let's get this going, right. Build up them stacks. There's 40 stacks. That's 267k. 267, 3, 3, 4. That's what we're looking at, okay? Remember that number, guys. 267, 3, 3, 4. We're going to switch to this, which is the test subject. I lose 19k damage with the test subject on this build. Which is, I mean, to be honest, I'm happy with that. That just shows that the test subject does put a nice shift in. So if you don't have a capacitor for any reason, then test subject is your go-to choice. Get it on, guys. Get it on. Okay. So what we're going to do now, we're going to change a piece around. Right. We're going to pop on the memento. Don't worry too much about the gear mod because that will only be skill haste anyway. Let's just pop that on. And let's just see what this does. It does a hell of a lot less damage. Okay, guys, you see it's a hell of a lot less damage. That's with the test subject. 186179, right? Let's pop the capacitor on. Let's build up them stacks. Stacks at 40. We're doing 201, 694, guys. 201, 694. Which is 66k less damage than using perfect combined arms. You can see, guys, yes, there's no other way of me doing this. There isn't. I can lose Wyvern, pop a piece of Hanu there, but still not gaining any more damage. You can see, guys, so I'm losing 67k damage. Now, what you'll say is pick up them trophies. Pick up them trophies. But again, 726k armor, that means I have to move around the map to get the kills. Once I get the kills, pick up the trophies to get a little bit more damage, 5% damage or 10% damage. Is it going to benefit that much? Is it really going to boost that build much more? I would rather the damage off the bat. I would. That's just me. Let me know what you think below, guys. But that's my issue using the memento with a skill build. I don't have that instant buff. Again, let's get this back on again. And let's just see again. 201, 694. So I lose 66k damage. 66k per tick. Per tick. Could say, yeah, but perfect combined arms, there's another 30%. So you got to keep shooting. You got to keep shooting, WOOO. Yes, that's true. I've got to keep shooting. But the way I play, I'm always shooting. I'm always keeping that active. But let's just again switch that 30% out and let's take a look at the difference. Take that off that one there and let's put perfect combined DOMs on, which is here.
Agent in need of backup.
Now let's test this again. So let's build these stacks. Full stacks, the capacitor. It's still more. 213, 212, 217. I'm still at a higher rate. That's without perfect combined arms, without me shooting at NPCs. when that starts to deplete. 217k, I'm still at a better rate. This is my concern. This is my issue with the capacitor and the memento. I don't feel it's going to give me enough damage. It isn't. So for me personally, I want to use this setup. This setup is better. Perfect combined arms, capacitor will give me more damage easily. And that's why I've opted for this setup on this build, and it works a treat. Now you could, again, get your waveform holster on there for a little bit more damage. That's potential, but you're going to lose a Wyvern or a Hannah U. Something to bear in mind on your setup. But guys, let me know what you think of the build in the comments section. This is what I'd use. This is how I would set it up, and it works nicely for me. It really does. So guys, as always, love you all, and see you in the next one. Peace.